I posted this video back in 2021 and it garnered 106 views in the process. Highly grateful for that. I remembered it again in my first internship when my boss and I were bouncing ideas off each other on what the future of my YouTube channel could look like. How could I possibly tie together content on my career prospects, personal development, and maybe my hobbies? Let's see. An octopus has the uncanny ability to not only change its color when it lands on a different surface, but also its texture. But guess what? An octopus is colorblind, and a coral reef is so multicolored, so amazing when you look at it, and its textures as well are also very varied. So how does an animal that can't easily see its surroundings change its color and its texture almost instantaneously? A great intellectual question related to an aquatic creature, which is within my area of study, but the answer can also be applied to our personal development hurdles. The octopus, how does it do so? How does it change color so fast and its texture as well to match its environment, yet it cannot clearly see them? The answer is simple and complicated. Take it the way you would like it. But a few muscles that work slightly below its skin either push up part of its skin to go upwards to make a rough texture, or to fall downwards in order to make a smooth texture. And then the changing of colors, it may not exactly need to know, this is blue, yellow, red, green, and we've even introduced tough ones here, the cyan, indigo, my God, all those things. But it actually has just a few patterns, either plain dark, plain bright, or a certain pattern that is, you would say mottled, like different either circles, or let's say it's a pattern that is different from being plain. So depending on the surface it does touch, it sort of, let's say it puts it together that it's either plain dark, plain white, or so you realize there's not so much thinking to do. It's just three options for the color, two options for the texture. And life is simple, it survives in the wild, and is one of the most amazing creatures out there. So that is the story of the octopus. And that's the story of how you don't have to sometimes. You just don't have to do a million things to get to a certain destination. Mathematics teachers pride themselves in telling their students that a good math student is a lazy one. That used to hurt me so much because, I would work so hard, write up a whole page full of calculations, and my God, the answer would not come. But I sat down with some of the most intelligent math students at the time in my class in high school, and I realized that in 3 steps, they would reach the answer. So why is it that I was going through all this, opening brackets and introducing logarithms and different signs and, complicating what is so simple? And I realized that I simply didn't have to. I just had to get the right answer. I actually thought that a person who goes through the university will use every single thing that they have learned in the 3 years. And yes, that could probably be true. But then I usually see that they use a small part, different parts from different times in their courses, actually, in a different task. So when I sat down and looked at it, I was like, okay, wow. So I actually don't have to bring so many things when I am targeting one thing. By studying American billionaires, millionaires, and also some of the wealthy here in Uganda, with one of my friends, he and I aspire to emulate these people one day. we actually realized that it took about 5 steps for each of them. Well, of course, the 5 steps, everyone is out there selling them, 5 ways to become a millionaire, billionaire, all those things, yeah? But the interesting thing is you could almost break down what they did into just a couple of steps. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10. And even people who talk about, mental health, 5 steps to, reaching your full potential, getting your health back, all those things. Yes, sometimes it may sound too good to be true, but I think it's because human beings have decided to make life too complicated. It's a flaw that I appreciate that we have. But well, we realize that they take those steps, but they take them with initiative. They actually decide to do A, B, C, and D. Not because the moment you start thinking to yourself, who is this person who is telling me 5 steps and I'll get there? It can't be that easy. Then fine, you will remain where you are. But somebody who does take the initiative will realize that, okay, I've gotten past this part, this lesson I have learned, this part I've grown, and they'll suddenly realize that it's just not as complicated as they thought it to be. We've added on our knowledge bank and learned a trick to narrow our options to make easier decisions, much like computers, if you ask me. And by the way, on the radio once I had someone ask how many hearts the octopus has. It in fact has 3 hearts pumping blue blood rich in copper. If you remember high school chemistry, when we tested a compound blue or green in color, we suspected copper. Then blue blood also reminds me of the Kree in Marvel.
And I come from a planet called Hollow.
I would say that you're delusional, but we just got shot down by a spaceship and your blood is blue.
Listen.
At the end of the radio show, someone retaliated by saying that it has that many hearts to prevent a heartbreak. As we end today's video, the wrap-up that showed that an octopus is colorblind yet can change both color and texture, not with a complex system, but just 2 patterns and textures, so you also don't have to decide between a million things. Just 2 will do. If you'd like to see more videos like this, combining science with personal development and a sprinkle of entertainment, let us know in the comments down below. Ciao!